once again, we want to welcome you to the Westmont training facilities. I want to first introduce our coaches. I'm Coach C, it's Coach W, Coach P, and Coach K. Our goals for the next few weeks is to make you more comfortable in the water with different breathing exercises, perfect some different techniques with kicking and arm strokes, and then also teach you some new strokes by the end of the 2 weeks. So I want to encourage you guys to be open-minded and coachable and have good attitudes while you're out here. And I'll hand it over to Coach K for the rules.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and list you guys off the rules from the Olympic Committee Pool Safety Guidelines. Go ahead and just read them straight from the book here. Okay, there's going to be no breath holding for extended periods of time. In other words, no competing to see who can hold their breath the longest. No running, pushing, or roughhousing on the deck of the pool. No diving in the shallow end. You can see it here. It has the emblem on the side here. No carrying anybody on the shoulders or back, so no chicken fights. No chewing gum in the pool. No glass items. Get into the pool properly, so you're going to sit down on the edge first, as Dan's showing, and then you slide in. We're not trying to jump in the pool and get anybody injured. Be coachable and willing to learn. Team encouragement is encouraged. Leave your toot at the gate. It will not be tolerated at these Olympic training facilities. And points are going to be awarded for country spirit, team chants, and proper technique.
It's from Spain.
Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and move in to what we're going to cover today.
So before we get into the water, we wanted to show you some of the techniques on the land, so it's easier to see before we actually get into the water. So I want all of you to turn and face this center chair. Just move these things onto the ground. I'm going to have Lisa be our demonstrator as I explain some of these things. So the first thing we're going to demonstrate is what's called the flutter kick. And this is the main kick that we're going to be using today. This is the kick that is used in the freestyle stroke and also in the backstroke. So in just a minute, we're all going to get on a chair, and when you lay on the chair, I want you to position yourself so your hips are on the end of the chair, and you can either reach your arms just to the side, or you can actually reach them forward, whatever you find to be more comfortable. Now, when you do the flutter kick, you want the kick to come from your hip flexors. So one thing I want you guys to pay attention to is that you actually want your thighs to lift off of the chair as you are performing the kick. And the other thing you want to do is you want your toes to be pointed. So a visual that may help you is you want to think of having diver toes. So think of pointing your toes as you perform this kick. So Lisa, can you show them, you're going to alternate kicking your legs. So go ahead and show them the kick. And if she reaches her arms forward, that may help balance on the chair a little bit. Good. So you see how she's keeping her knees straight. Now if she were to bend her knees, that would create more friction in the water. So by keeping her knees straight, that's going to allow more propulsion through the water. Another thing you want to keep in mind is you want your heels to just come to the surface when you're in the water. A visual you want to maybe think of is that you're almost thinking of boiling the water. So you don't want to create a lot of splash in the water, you just want to think of just boiling the water. So don't let your feet come greatly out of the water, you want to think of them just coming to the surface of the water as you kick. So right now, I want everyone to go ahead and stand up and find a chair. Go ahead and place your hips near the bottom of the chair and practice this kicking motion. And all the coaches will come around and go ahead and give you feedback on the kicking motion. Remember your diver toes and your straight feet. And reach your arms forward to keep down. And if you need to, you can just scoot the hips forward a little bit more so you don't tip off.
I'm ready.
Perfect, Sarah. And think about lifting your thighs
Get those toes pointed a little bit more. There you go. Good.
so that you can remember your hip flexors. So don't bend your knees quite as much. A little less bend in the knee, Kendra. That's really good, Kelsey. And you want your kicks to be fast and just quick, small kicks. That's perfect, Sarah. Very good.
It's like Pilates yesterday. I was going to die.
There you go. Keep your legs straight. Now it's quick. Think of like a bird.
Very
Like a
good.
hummingbird's wings. Like you're going quick.
And Nate, try lifting your thighs a little bit higher off the chair. There you go.
You guys need to take a break. Go ahead and take a break.
You need to rest.
Kelsey, try lifting, when you're kicking, try lifting your thighs just a little bit higher off the chair.
Floating.
Get him up.
Yeah, give you guys a little break for a second, and I think we're gonna do another round here.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, do it again. See, check on the form again.
Sarah. Good Cal. Stop, Nate. Keep those legs a little straighter. There you go. Stop, Nate.
Just remember to keep your
Stop,
toes
Jimmy.
pointed. So Ben, you want to keep your legs a little closer together. Okay.
Yeah, if you're tired, go ahead and rest.
You guys can go ahead and lay flat on your back on the chairs. This is both a relaxation time and also to simulate floating a little bit. And I'm going to go over some of the basics of floating. So one of the most important things is to relax. Floating is all about relaxing because the more relaxed you are, the more likely you are to have slower, calmer breathing, which is a key component of floating. The more breath that you have in your lungs, the more able the rest of your body is to have oxygen throughout your body. And a key thing to note is that your body is 2/3 water. So basically 2/3 of your body is the same density as what you're going to be floating in. So the other third can be a mixture of different things. And for males, they tend to have more muscles, so they might have a little bit more difficult time floating because muscle is more dense than water. But that means that you just need to focus more on your calm, relaxed breathing. And now we're going to have a water demonstration. And so you guys can go ahead and get up and come over to the water.
Tell me to, I'll take it off.
Okay. So first thing to note is that these are both two male athletes. And so they're naturally going to have a little bit more difficult time breathing or floating. And one thing to help with your floating is have your arms above your head. By having your arms above your head, that helps bring up your core and helps bring up your legs. And for your head, you should think of lifting your head down on the pillow. That will help you kind of relax your head and also point your chin towards the sky. And if that doesn't help, then you can imagine that you have a string attached to your belly button pulling you up out of the water. Because when you imagine that, then that can help you better bring your legs up, which is usually the most muscular part of your body and the most difficult part to float. And lastly, if that doesn't help, then you can do what Andrew's doing, which is slowly moving your legs, because kicking your legs a little bit will help you float. Okay, and now I'm going to separate you guys into your groups. These are your Olympic training groups, and you guys are separated into 4 different countries. And so I'm going to start with lane number 1, which is China. And so for those people, it's going to be Tim, Bump, Malia, Caitlin, and Mike. So you guys can all just stand right here in front of your lane. Lane number 2 is Australia, which is Sarah Spencer, Tim Leary, and Nate. Lane number 3 is Mitch, Kelsey, and Ben. And then lap number 4 is Brazil, which is Sarah, Finish, Jenny, and Landon. And everyone, you guys will get points for being spirited, having a good attitude, and having correct form. And so this is really important for at the end. We're going to have prizes for gold, silver, and bronze, and a spirit award. So just keep that in mind. And you guys can now slowly get into the water and practice floating.
So it's proper form getting into the water.
All right, Mike, let's do this.
So remember all the things Lisa was just talking about, and go ahead and just spend a few minutes practicing the proper floating technique and form.
Deep breath. You're going to push your chest upwards.
Very good.
Okay, guys, so go ahead and try to practice your technique. So take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Put your arms over your head. You gotta hold your breath. Tighten your core. Raise your hips a little bit.
Hey, shut up, Mike.
Spread your arms above your head.
Strip on the bar. I just had to say that.
Breathe nicely. See how long you can maintain it.
Barely getting right up there next to him, so over the ferry. You can hear Andrew's voice, Mason's voice. Go to the other side after.
Okay.
Nice, Mason. There you go. There you go. Good.
Done? Yeah, okay. Keep practicing.
Hey Landon, you may want to try and like use your legs a little bit since those are heaviest and just kind of.
If I get too relaxed, I start thinking.
Bend your knees a little bit, and then extend your hips. Extend your hips back. Back. Yeah. No, yeah. Like reach. Almost like you're leaning back on your hips, like this. You want to just let everything just kind of be. Alright, try again. Arms above your head. Reach them all the way up. All the way up. Deep breath, hold.
That's so hard to why I float. I just don't float. It's so much easier.
The head will naturally want to stay out of the water. So. Dude, you're right there. You've got
This is humbling.
Good, Jimmy. You can do circular motions. Circular kicks like this.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Alternate back and forth. And that'll keep your legs up. Right? Slow.
Wow, what I see in sensory there.
I did it. Yeah, there you go.
Landed.
Hey, Dan.
So everybody eyes on me.
Okay, everyone.
Floating my skills.
Hey guys, we're gonna move on. Good. Everybody eyes on me.
Yeah.
So one of the things we focus on the floating is controlling the breathing. We want to move on to another exercise that will help you with your breathing. So what what we're going to do is I'm going to explain it, Andrew's going to provide a demonstration, and then we want you guys to practice a couple times. So the first thing we want is you want to control your breathing out through your nose. A lot of people, when you let it out through your mouth, it comes out too quick. So with swimming, everything has to be controlled. So we want you to take a deep breath, and you can put your face in the water, at least your nose and your mouth, just so it simulates being underwater. You don't have to be completely under. And then we want you to slowly exhale through your nose. And that'll keep water from going back up into your nose. As you see, Andrew, he doesn't have his head all the way underneath, just enough of his face so that his nose and mouth are in it. And he's slowly controlling his breath out. Once your breath is all the way out, come up, take another breath, and go down and do it one more time. So we'll have you guys do it twice. Is there any questions? All right, let's go ahead. Let's practice 2 times. Take a deep breath, and slowly out through your nose. Once you've done it twice, eyes back on me, and I'll tell you what we're going to do next. Louis, you want to do twice?
No, I'm sick.
Oh, you can do it?
It'll be gross.
Nice and controlled.
We're here with you too. I have boogers, but let me know.
Nice and controlled, guys.
Keep me that way. I don't want to be downstream.
It feels so weird and it sounds weird.
When you're swimming, it's going to be the same. You're just not going to feel it because there's water rushing, so those bubbles are going this way instead of this side. But yeah, you definitely have to control. You can use your core. The control will come from your core. Is everybody done twice?
Yeah, sorry.
Breathing, yeah. Your core and your diaphragm. Has everybody gone through twice? Everybody gone through twice?
Good job, Australia. High five. Alright, good job.
Do it. Alright, so eyes on me, guys. Eyes on me. So the next thing we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna explain it, and Coach K is gonna demonstrate, and then we're gonna have everybody. So you're gonna find a place on the wall. You're gonna have your arms about shoulder width apart, and you're gonna keep your body parallel to the bottom of the pool. You keep your head out of the water, and we're gonna practice the kicks that we practiced out of the pool. So you want to see the boiling of the water in the back. You want to see all the movements from your hips, not from your knees. Can you guys see it over there? When you move?
Yeah, you did.
You can keep your face out. You can control when we want you to practice. As you can see, there's not much splashing. It does look like the water is boiling underneath Coach K. So go ahead and find a place on the wall. Make sure there's enough room. You want about 2 feet. Let's do this. In front of you. Yeah. If you're in the 2 middle lanes, feel free to come into the center. Mike, you want to go on this end and have the shoulder people go on the right end? Okay. Yeah, good. Keep your elbows locked out. Elbows locked out.
Just destroy him, Mike.
Get your body a little higher up. So you've got to just go back to where the flutter kick comes in. You get higher up. The faster you kick, the more you go. More from the hips. If you're not boiling, it's because you're doing it. Use your arms to keep you up. Most of the legs you put. Okay, you're going real slow. It's going to be more like this. You're going here. Alright, there you go. Alright. How's your boiling?
Go all the way.
Go, Mike. Get your kick on the left. Lock up your arms.
How about that? Okay, guys, go ahead and take a break.
Take a rest. That's a flat. Dan, you want to explain the breathing? All right, now we're gonna combine the first breathing exercise and the kicks. So you're gonna be in the same position on the wall. You're gonna have your face, and this time you take your deep breath, put your face just like you've done before. Slowly exhale out your nose as you're doing your kicks. Okay? And this will take a lot more focus from you controlling your breath out because you're using your legs. Okay? So let's see everybody do that.
music out here.
Keeping your arms straight. Take a deep breath. Slowly exhale through your nose. Good job, Mike. Mike's taking a deep. Sarah, two more. Come on. Tim, little left out of the water. Stay a little bit deeper in the water. Slowly exhale. Good job, guys. Keep controlling it out. That was Sarah. That was a lot better with the going with your feet and starting to get the going. Longer, slower strokes. And point your toes. Point your toes. Good, good, good. Landon, more from the hips. A little bit slower. More from the hips. You want your legs to be like this rather than doing this. You don't want them to slap it. Yeah. Let's go. 1 more minute practice, guys. Keep going. You can get at least 3 breaths. See how many kicks you can get per breath. The more kicks you get, the more efficient you are.
This thing's not good.
Alright, take a break. Take a break. The reason we want you guys keeping your face in the water. The reason we want you keeping your face in the water to see how many kicks you can get per breath is that's pretty much the best form for the most efficient of pushing the water. So when you have to come up for a breath, everything gets tilted and you're not pushing as much water. So the more kicks per breath you can get, the better and faster swimmer you're going to be. So that's something that we're going to be looking for.
Okay, so now everybody's going to go ahead and grab a kickboard. We're going to practice going up and back.
Okay, before you do anything with your kickboard, I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do with the kickboard. So please just hold the kickboard. Please just hold the kickboard, but don't do anything with it yet. And everyone come to the wall, okay? So what we're going to do with the kickboard, first I'm going to explain to you how we're going to hold the kickboard, and then I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do with the kickboard. So keeping our form in mind and building on what we've already been doing, we're going to actually swim a distance. Now what we need to be careful of when we are swimming this distance is what we've been doing is all stationary moves. So when we're swimming this distance, we don't want your form to be sacrificed. So the distance we're going to be swimming is down to that lifeguard, podium, and back. So about halfway down the pool. And Dan will go and he'll stand about at that point. So when you swim down to that point, you're going to hold onto the top of the kickboard like this. And when you're swimming down there, you're not going to be practicing your breathing. You're just going to be concentrating on your kicks. You're going to isolate your kicks. But what you want to be careful of on this is that your head and your back isn't arched too high up. Because what that will do is that will cause your hips and your legs to sink down, causing you to not get the most efficient kick. So really, you want to keep your head, you don't want to put it underwater, but you want to keep it just kind of at a low sight line, okay? And then once you get down to that point, it's only about 5 feet, so you can just stand there and wait for your other group members to get there. If you can't reach, you can hold on to the side, and we put the shorter people on those lanes so that they can grab the side. On the way back, you're going to hold on to the bottom of the kickboard in the same form that you were holding onto the wall. So you want to do that with straight arms. Now you're going to be tempted, you may be tempted to bend your arms or hold onto the kickboard in another way. We really want you to be careful to hold onto the kickboard and keep your arms straight. So really be conscious of that. But while you're being conscious of that, don't bend your legs or let your leg form go to the waist, okay? And while you're doing that, we're going to have you practice breathing on the way back. So you're swimming back, and Andrew, can I have you demonstrate this? So you're going to be swimming, and you're going to be practicing breathing. You're not side breathing, you're just breathing up and down. And Andrew is demonstrating. And you're filling the water and you're keeping the diver pointed toes. Okay? So you're swimming there, holding onto the top of the kickboard, waiting there until all of your group members get there, and then you're swimming back, holding onto the bottom of the kickboard and practicing breathing. And please remember that this is not a race. This is actually rather a slow movement in the water because you don't have your arms to give you extra propulsion through the water. So please just concentrate on your form and don't try to be as fast as you can or be comparing yourself to the people in the lane next to you. And also don't push off the wall. Just use your legs to propel you through the water. So whenever your team is ready to begin, you can begin and swim down to the lifeguard podium and then swim back.
All right, Cindy.
You got time. Give them a little bit of a lead.
I'm going to be watching you guys swim underwater, making sure you're kicking from the hips, okay?
Try to keep your knees. Keep your
Make
knees
sure you're
locked
kicking
out.
from the hips. I'm going to be looking under the water, make sure you're kicking from the hips.
Okay, Mitch, go ahead.
One at a time.
Very nice, Mike. Good lead. Yeah, don't go where he's touching. Okay, Sarah, you're going to wait until he gets all the way there.
That's Joey.
It's okay, you can go ahead and keep going.
Good job, Tim. Good job, Bob. Go ahead, Tim. More from your hips.
More from the
A lot of deflection. Good job, Tim.
Keeping your legs locked out,
Pay attention to Coach Dan.
more surface area to propel yourself through the water. When you bend your knees at that joint, what you're doing is you're giving yourself less surface area to propel yourself through the water. Okay, so try and keep your hips there, your knees extended, and push only and kick only from the hips the whole way. Okay. All right, go ahead. Go.
Practice our breathing back in the second position. So practice your breathing if you can.
Malia, just keep your line of sight down a little bit more so that your hips come up a little bit higher in the water.
What? Yeah, no, yeah, a lot better.
Hey, look, Cindy!
Good job, Tim.
Yeah, China! Woo!
Tim, keep those toes pointed. That's good.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and try and practice one more time. Okay, give you guys some more practice with it. Everybody, a lot of people are still tending to bend their knees a little bit, which is okay. A little bend is okay, but make sure you guys try and really work it from the hips. If you need to, do longer, slower strokes, and that'll help propel more water. Okay?
Okay, and this time we're going to hold on to the bottom of the kickboard both ways and practice breathing both ways. So when you're ready, you can go.
Good job, Nate. Mike looks like a fish. Love it.
Real fast movement. Longer and slower. You want to be controlled. Just like your breathing is controlled, your kinetic is to be controlled as well. You don't want to be erratic. As you get tired, you're going to want to use your knees. So try and really focus on your hips.
That was better, Jimmy.
Yeah, Landon.
Kaylin, are you having a hard time controlling your breathing?
Yeah.
Is it because, are you sick or are you just, because it's like, I can see all the ones just come all out at once. Huh? I'm really focused on just slowly letting them out.
Alright guys, so next thing we're going to teach you guys is streamlining.
Eyes on Coach K. Eyes on Coach K.
In relation to what we did at the very beginning was it's the part between the actual dive once you hit the water and you're in the water and then you're propelling, you're cruising through the water under the surface. Okay, so the whole object of this is to make yourself as long, tall, and skinny as possible. Okay, so everything you're going to be doing is just a reach as far as you can go and trying to make yourself as aerodynamic as possible. Or water dynamic, however you want to, whatever you want to go with. Okay, so the first things first, what we're going to do is you're going to put your one hand on top of the other. Okay?
So everybody do that. You don't need your kickboard.
And you're going to lock.
Put your kickboards up on the...
Okay, you're going to lock the top hands, pinky and thumb, around the other one. So what this does is it prevents your hands from separating, which keeps it more aerodynamic. So yeah,
See you guys.
you can think of it as like the turtle. Right? Turtle and then close it up. Okay, good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put your arms above your head, and you want your elbows to be tucked in behind your ears, and your biceps are actually going to be pressing on the back side of your head. Okay? What this is called is the head bump. Okay? You're creating a bump on the front side of your body. You want the back side of your body to be totally flat. So as you can see on Dan here, between his hands all the way down to his feet are almost a perfectly straight line. Okay, so another term you can think of is a plank. So you're trying to make yourself just as flat and long as you can. Okay, and so then for the legs, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be pointing your toes, so the diver toes again, just like with your kicking, and you're going to be trying to adduct your hips and just bring everything tight and close as possible. Okay, so if you guys want, you can try it and stand up on your toes and just squeeze and point your toes. Squeeze your legs together, point your toes. Okay, and then that makes your body another 2 to 3 inches taller and a little bit skinnier also at the same time. Okay. So what we're gonna do, Dan's gonna go ahead and demonstrate for us, is you're gonna propel yourself off the wall and get into that same form, right? So you want the head bump to be on the front, arms locked out. One hand stays on top of the other with it locked together, okay? And you're going to just see how far you can glide out without kicking, okay? And the head bump will keep you towards the surface. It creates a bump on the bottom, and it's going to help keep you right along the top of the surface as you're moving, okay? So you don't have to you won't feel as uncomfortable like you're sinking to the bottom, okay? So if we just go ahead and watch Dan. Good. See, he almost made it all the way out to where we were kicking to, because he kept his form locked out. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go ahead. We're gonna have you guys come out one at a time, same style as we did before. Once the first person gets about halfway there, the next person can go ahead and go. Yeah. And make sure you guys are controlling your breathing through the whole path. Okay, that's something that we're trying to keep focused on the whole time. Is making sure you guys are slowly breathing out so that no water goes up your nose and it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable under the water. Okay? So go ahead. First group up. Take your deep breath. Good. Start fully. Make sure you guys start fully under the water and then push yourself up towards the surface.
So go.
Who's going first over here?
Good.
So just crouch down under the water and then put your toes in your form. Yep. Alright, whenever you're ready, take a big inhale and then crouch press down, get your push off, and go for it.
Yeah, now, so if you watch Sarah's really good. Good job, Malia.
Good job.
You gotta get a push.
Good job.
You want us to do this before we go?
Yeah. Whatever feels comfortable to you.
Hey, you guys, go ahead. Make sure you guys stay on this side of the pool. Yeah, I just started here. As I went under. That's when I took my head. What's up? Yeah.
Good. Alright. Take a big inhale. You control your exhale. Okay.
So you start here, then you go under, and put your arms, your head, and your elbows. Pick up. So you jump off the ground.
China!
Go down, put your arms up, and then, does that make sense? Point your arms directly at the top. So start there. Let's go, Sarah! There you go.
Yeah.
You won't make it back and forth. That's it right there. It's good. The more force you have all, the more you can stay in that good form.
It's good. That was a lot better.
Everybody come back. This one you do the same thing. We want you to start here so we can see your good form. And you're just going to push off and you're going to walk the rest of the way.
In order to get a good push off,
You're obviously not going to go as far until you don't have the wall behind you. Start. This is your good form. As far forward as you can. Shoulder as far back as you can. Push off the ground. If you're too short, you can move forward. You're saying that my arms were back to the other side. You want the bump to be on the bottom side, not on the top.
Oh, I'm going first? Okay.
I mean, you're closest.
So that's it. Start with your good form, see? There you go, right there.
Okay, so remember to keep the bump front. So, and keep your arms really tight into your head.
Okay.
That was
So
a lot better.
Caitlin.
Because when you go see it, when your head's here,
They're on the ground. I don't know how to push off the ground.
see how
You
much
want to
water
crouch,
keeps it right
start by like crouching down and then pushing off.
Just do it. Just do it. You got it, Caitlin. Come on.
Go,
Go.
Just start with
Yeah.
China!
There you go. All right, go. Yes.
Okay, guys. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, Sarah, that was it.
Good job. I was like, I want to get here. But my legs are pushing. I was like, how do I do it?
You're turning like this.
Yeah, I feel so important.
Very nice. Keeping your arms back, Mike.
Nice job, Mike.
Okay, guys. So wait.
Yeah.
Good job, Jack.
Yeah, Tim.
I like how you kept your toes pointed.
Okay, guys.
Good job.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of a competition between each country. Okay.
Oh, shoot.
All right. And so you're going to take the best score or distance from each group, okay? And me and Danner and Brandon and Lisa are going to help us to judge to see who goes the farthest. Okay, and so what you're trying to do is you're trying to get yourself to glide as far as you possibly can, okay? But there's no kicking allowed. No kicking whatsoever. If we see any kicking, disqualification. That's an automatic disqualification, okay? France has been having trouble with that all day, so we're going to make sure we keep a close eye on these guys. Okay?
For China since they've got extra length.
All right. The key here, the better form you have, the further you're gonna go. Okay. So the better form you have, the further you're gonna go. Okay, guys. So just to review. Okay, we're gonna make sure you guys have one hand on top of the other. Elbows are tucked in, pressed behind your head. Okay. And then you get one good firm push off the wall. And the second you leave the wall, you want to extend your toes and squeeze your legs together. Okay, and that's going to make you more aerodynamic or water dynamic. Okay. All right, so we're going to go one person at a time, and then see where everybody ends up. Okay, first group. First up. First group.
Right here.
Team Spirit, I think. Ready?
Do it.
All right, Kelly, go ahead. Person up. You judge them? Yep, I'll judge you guys. Who's going first? You got Nate, and then who? Caitlin, okay.
I'm going to be underneath making sure there's no kicking going on. Go ahead. Yeah, let's go. Ready? That's dangerously close. Good, man. Stand, just walk to the wall right where you were.
Okay.
Go ahead, bud.
Alright guys, good job. So if you push from lower, you might get a little bit extra distance out of it. Stop, you're still moving. You guys, make sure you let yourself float and carry. You're still moving when a lot of you guys are coming out of the water.
Hey, watch that. Just keep it. Don't put up. See how far you can go. Nice. Go, Tim.
Get that good form.
No, I was up there. I'm done. I'm out.
Let's go, 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 go.
Keep going, keep going.
Go, 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 go.
Alright, good. First one's down. Alright, guys, head back to the wall. We're going to see. Mike hasn't gone yet. Oh, we're going to the wall. Alright, moment of truth. Moment of truth. Brazil wins the first competition. Nice team. Okay, guys. I think we're going to please.
Oh, good spirit, dude.
Okay, guys, we're going to do one more round, okay? One more round. No twisting of the body over here in Brazil. No kicking, okay? Yeah, we're going to do one more round. One more round. Okay? Okay, just a little tip or a hint, okay? If you guys start, the lower you guys can get yourself to start in the water, the less areas, the less resistance you're going to have, like, on the way up, okay? Because your body's going to help carry you to the surface, and it'll give you a little bit extra momentum, okay?
So I'm starting at the bottom.
Okay, you guys go ahead and start
Okay,
gliding.
this time the winner is going to be the person who has the best form. Not only, we're going to include that into the distance, okay? All right, so go ahead, guys. We're going to be watching you guys from underwater. Go ahead. Here we go. Who's up first? Tim versus Tim. Perfect.
You couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, Tim. That was really good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, Tim.
Who's next? All right.
Demalia.
Leah and Nate, here we go. Ready, go. Ready. That's it.
I have to do
Very nice, Leah. I like how you kept your hands.
Malia, you gotta get your head a little lower. Started bumping up. Roll it, breath holding. There we go, next person. No, look good technique.
Whoa, it's cold.
Nice job. Nice job.
Okay,
That was good technique. I'll give you a little distance.
Yeah.
Woo!
Australia.
Go, 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 go. It's gorgeous.
You can do it.
Oh, she was in that one last
Mike had
time.
really good I think Mike has the best team. Mike! China!
First to be down on.
Alright guys, go ahead and do
Go ahead
a
and
quick streamline on the way back, and then we're going to go ahead and jump out of the pool.
Win one for China.
We're going to have you put your kickboards away. And we're going to meet back out.
So go ahead and grab your kickboards, and then we're going to kick off and stand over here.
Oh, but it's cold out of it.
Right? Oh.
And you guys can also grab your towels if you want once you put your kickboards away.
Put your kickboards away first.
Where the kickboards go?
In this bin over there, it's open. Thank you.
Yeah, we're getting out for the kickboards away.
Kickboards away, and you can grab your towel and. Where do goggles go? In this basket right there.
Go ahead, grab your towels. Thanks, Coach K. Let's be back over here. I just want to say, great job today. I saw a lot of good form. You guys are really good listeners, and you're willing to take the criticism and also the good, positive feedback that we had for you. I want to hear something from you guys. What do you think was the most effective thing that we gave you as maybe a cue or as feedback, or corrective feedback? But, give me a couple things real quick.
I think it was helpful to do it on the chairs first.
Chairs.
Because you could feel the way you're moving better than when you're in the water.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think having the instruction in the pool too, even though at times it's a little bit hard to see, I think it's still good to have a good visual in the water.
Was it hard to see as we were in the
A
water?
little bit, but not bad.
I like that you have most people up and in the water, because obviously they can see you and they can talk to you next to you, but then you all also have people above you.
Yeah.
I think that was good.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we want to bring the competition aspect in, but we don't want to sacrifice form. So we will always be giving, awards and more, credit to the people who have better form, and you're also going to see better performance when you have that better form. So just want to say, great job today, and come ready for Thursday.
Good job, guys.
Hey, let's